This is the story of Halvor Ole Jonsen Santorv. He was a young man from Krossum, Norway, which is near Bergen, and his family was having difficulty with farming at the time when he left. He was 14 years old. Now, as most young boys go, of course, he always dreamed of sailing and being on the high seas. Well, be careful what you wish for, because it did turn into a one-way trip for him. He came to North America. He landed in the United States in the late 1800s. And one of the first jobs that he got when he came to North America, of course after being a sailor for quite a while and learning how to do all the sailing knots and hoisting and everything, he became a log driver. And he was very, very good at it. He was one of the foremen for it, in fact. Halvor wound up marrying Christina Helena Magdalena Boysen while he was in the United States. Now, she was a very special woman in several ways, least of which being that she had been granted a divorce from her very violent ex-husband, and she was alone with her little baby boy, Ed. My great-grandfather took that little boy in as his own son. He thought of him as his own son, but even so, Halvor had 5 more children with Christina. They had Johnny, Nick, Emily, well, her original name was Hannah, but she changed it to Emily because everyone called her Hard-Hearted Hannah, Tilly, and my grandfather, Barent. It was just before my grandfather's birth when my great-grandfather and great-grandmother, Halvor and Christina, decided to move up to Canada, and they moved to the Glenmary district in Saskatchewan, near Horseshoe Bend. And as far as the schooling went, that was a very rough time for the children because, of course, in their homes, because both Christina and Halvor came from Norwegian backgrounds, they spoke Norwegian in the home. However, the teachers were not Norwegian. They were English. And if any of the children were caught speaking any language other than English in the classroom, they would have their hands strapped or they would get whacked in the head with a ruler. Both of these things happened to my Auntie Tilly. She got her hands strapped with a razor strap. And my grandfather got his head whacked several times with a ruler. Now, my great-grandfather was not one to keep quiet about anything. So he went to that teacher, and he told him if he laid a hand like that on his kids again, or any other children for that matter, he would lay a beating on him that equaled what he'd given to those children. So he was always one who would stand up for people. When he was elderly, he wound up living with my grandfather and my grandmother Louise and their 2 kids, Harry and Diana, my mother. And when my great-grandfather was dying, well, for one thing, he put his knowledge and experience of knowing how to use the ropes for hoisting things to show the nurses how to lift him in and out of bed because he was a very big man. But one of the things that he asked my grandmother before he died was, "Will I get to see my mother again?" Of course she told him yes.